Hi guys, Brain here, and welcome to another commentary video. Today we're going to be talking about why can't Dead by Daylight seem to get Freddy right? Because I think the thing that brought this up to me and why I'm thinking about this a lot right now is because I've just been thinking about the NFT man, good old Pinhead. And despite that whole controversy that enveloped Pinhead, for the most part, Pinhead as a character is very emblematic of the character from the Hellraiser series, like to a T. Like, they got the chains, they got the torture aspects, they got the teleportation, they got his movements right. He still has some of the best animations in the game, and you know, his slow, graceful movements that he has, like in the series. Like, essentially, they just nailed him, right? Like, his power is emblematic of who he is, and his animations are emblematic of who he is. And he even used to have voice lines, and unfortunately, you know, those got taken away. But he used to even have voice lines, you know, which talks to the commanding gravitas of Pinhead, you know. So, like, essentially they really nailed that character, right? Like, that IP, they went in and they kicked its butt. They nailed it, right? Which is why I find it so confusing that Freddy has been on this kick ever since he's been in Dead by Daylight, where they just, like, don't really seem to know what to do with this character. And when Freddy first dropped, he had a power that was a lot more emblematic of who he was in the Nightmare on Elm Street series, because he actually had to pull people into the dream world to hurt them, and that, you know, that's literally the rules of the movie. And the way they ended up defeating Freddy was by bringing him out of the dream world, right? So, like, that was faithful, but the problem with that was that he was way too weak, right? Like, he was really, really bad. So even though the power was faithful to the character, he was not very good. Like, he was sucky. So they ended up reworking him entirely. And then he had the puddles, you know, the dream snares that slow people down, and he placed them down essentially for free. He got no speed debuffs. Now he gets speed debuff while he does that, but we're getting to that part. And he can teleport to any gen on the map. Like, he was one of the most oppressive killers in the game, at least in terms of, like, versus the amount of effort you have to put into that character. Like, he was probably the easiest strong character in the game when they reworked him. And honestly, the dream snares, despite, like, being aesthetically cool, and I guess the dream palettes in lieu, aren't really that Freddy-like. You know what I'm saying? Like besides just, you know, having the hands come up, like, there's nothing really, like, emblematic of the character that really has anything to do with him there. It's almost like they went to the drawing board, and the main complaint was that he was weak. So what they did is they just kind of, like, drew up a power that just was objectively strong, quote unquote. But it, like, didn't even, like, fit him at all, really. So then he was a menace for, like, a super, super long time. He was just way too strong for way little effort. You could run, and he had add-ons. He had add-ons that were literally slowdown perks. Like, he had Thanatophobia for free as just add-ons. So it was just ridiculous. So he'd stack those add-ons and then run 3 to 4 slowdown, and, you know, make the game miserable again, just by essentially having a 5th slowdown. And it was just, like, the most miserable character to fight in the game for a long time. So, like, after that, they finally go back and they nerf him, right? They get rid of all of his super powerful add-ons, and they, you know, make it to where he gets a speed debuff when he's placing the snares, so he's not as powerful as he used to be. But now he's, like, he, in a sense, lost his role, right? Because he went from very lore faithful character to, but he was weak and almost borderline useless, to, okay, well, now I'm not lore faithful at all, but I'm just a strong, generic, boring character, to now he doesn't really have an identity at all. He's just kind of like, you don't play him because he's strong, and you don't play him because you want to play Freddy, because his power really isn't that emblematic of or representative of Freddy in the Nightmare on Elm Street series. So, like, why do you play Freddy again? You know, like, what reason do you have now to play this character? And that's why it boggles my mind, because, you know, they didn't, the last Freddy, like no, I guess it's not a rework, it's just a nerf, but when they nerfed his rework that he had, he's basically just in this sorry state. But that wasn't that too long ago, you know, that was like this year. you know. And Pinhead also came out this year, but also has a power that's very emblematic of his character. He has a skill ceiling, so it's not like you can just pick him up and be lazy. Like he seems to be really well done in the sense that he's not super S tier, and he also has a skill curve, but his power also seems like it fits the character, and they got him really, really right. But like with like Freddy, they just kind of like, for some reason, can't seem to get it right. So I just don't get why that is. Like, I don't know, like this may be a pointless video because like this doesn't really have a point, I guess, but I'm just like, I'm shocked that like they can get Pinhead like almost perfect. But like Freddy is so like, I don't know what to do with this guy, and he's one of the most iconic horror slashers of like all time, and they cannot make his power work in a fair or interesting way. They just can't, and I don't know why, and I really hope they can, but they've already reworked him once, you know, like he's already gotten a rework, so like to get a double rework, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think we're stuck with just like boring milquetoast Freddy until the end of the game, sadly. I really hope I'm wrong. I hope they just go back and like finally like have a think tank and really just work out the character, but like I don't know. I don't think that'll ever happen. But that's just basically, I just wanted to rant about that. Thank you so much for watching, friendos. If you like this video, make sure you do the like. If you want to see more of my videos and not have the YouTube algorithm hide them from you, subbing is the best way to do that. Other than that, I don't have anything else for you. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video, and if I don't, I'll see you when I see you, friends. Bye-bye.